voice of the Valley, AM 1450 KBMW. Turnable Office, and it is time for your Snap Spotlight, brought to you by Snap Fitness in Wapaton, your locally owned gym in Wapaton. And, coming off of the last game of the year, we got Emily Gowin in the studio for the Breckenridge Cowgirls. How's it going today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, and I'm really sorry to see your season come to an end, but just talk about what a blast it was this year and, trying to make a run at a section title.
Yeah, I don't really think anybody saw us playing in the subsection championship this year. Like in November, nobody really saw that coming, but we had a great season, I think. And like with Jonica being out right away, like we adjusted and we did good. I'm really proud of what we accomplished this season. And
then it was the first year. Also, there's a lot of uncertainty with the new head coach, but I'm sure you guys were pretty confident in Bogues having him as an assistant coach for many years. I'm sure you were one of the girls who was excited to have him as a head coach.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job. It's really fun how he incorporates his family into it too. I'm sure you get to play with his kids and whatnot quite a bit after the games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun to hear. And you guys got a heck of a sophomore class. As Jonica, you just mentioned, who went down with a knee injury to start off the year. Parker Yagi as well. And a little bit, and I think all three of you guys play AAU together as well.
Yep.
And talk about a little bit about how that has helped you guys get better and chemistry as well, I assume, or just skill work is really where you make the big leap in AAU.
Well, yeah, we've been playing with each other since like 5th grade, I think. Jonica came over, and I don't know, we've just been connected, and it's just helped. And like with skills, and like we all are like, yeah, it just really helps us. And like, I think we know like what each other is gonna do, and I think we can just like read each other pretty well. So.
Gotcha. And you guys came in, or I know we talked about Jonica going down with the injury, and I've said this on many broadcasts this year that as obviously that's awful for the team. We very much miss her, but if anyone capitalized on it and made the most out of it and took a huge jump forward, I would say it was you. And a little bit about how you knew that you were going to have to pick up some more slack when that happened.
Yeah, well, right away, I wasn't planning on being the point guard at all this season, and I wasn't, gonna be I wasn't gonna be a scoring threat. Like I wasn't planning on that. And then Jonica went out, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta pick up some slack here. And Parker and Sydney definitely helped out. They picked up a lot too, and Piper and Ava they helped a lot too. So I think it was good for us, just to have like it was a confidence booster, I think, for most of us, and I think that really helped. And I think next year is gonna be a good year. I
called the Barnesville game your coming out party. And let's run through it. For those who don't know, it was, I believe, I want to say the 4th game of the year. And it was all drawn up. I think it was you guys were down by 1, so you could have got a 2. And they ran a really good action where they got into a situation where Parker had the ball in her hands, and she could swing it over to Sydney Roberts, but she made a great read on it, looked to the corner, found you there, kicked it out, and you drilled the game winner. And maybe at the time, the highlight of the season. Talk about the emotions from that and how big of a blast that was. And did you kind of feel in the moment you're like, holy, this is like me taking that next step?
Yeah, that was one of the most exciting games, that in West Central. But I think then we carried the energy from the Barnesville game into the next couple games, and I think it was just a big momentum builder, and that game was a lot of fun.
That was a blast. I told them, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing the next time that these two teams play each other, but I'm going to make sure to get everything off of my schedule, so I'm open for that. So that was a fun battle. And then moving on to, you guys had a great start to the season and then had a very rough stretch to the schedule, at one point losing, I think, like 7 games in a row, but that was like a death march. That's what I always refer to it as, a death march of a schedule. How was it, trying to keep everybody's spirits up during that rough stretch?
I think we all knew that it was going to be a rough patch, and it was going to be the hardest part of our season. And like none of the games we didn't really get blown out. Like there was a couple games we didn't play good in DGF. That was one of our worst games this year. But I think we kept our spirits up because we knew this was going to be the hardest part of our season, and we stayed with some of the teams too. So I think that kind of helped us out a little bit. And then I think we were fine. We had our energy and
I remember looking at that part of the schedule, and I was like, I mean, 5 of these are going to be at least uphill. At least 4 of these are going to be uphill battles. 3 of these are going to be dogfights. And like I said, that was a very tough stretch of the schedule. But Coach Bogenreef would come on the coaches show. He'd just be like, yeah, we kind of knew what we were getting into here. We knew this was going to be a tough stretch, but we're sticking with it. And boy, did you guys! You guys jump into the playoffs. Talk about how fun it was to get that win against Parker's Prairie to open up the section tournament.
Yeah, that game was fun. We were hitting shots, we were moving the ball well. We had a lot of assists that game. I think the most we've had all season. And we went through our whole bench and we got everybody to get their energy up, and it was just bringing momentum for the West Central game, and that game was a lot of fun.
Oh, that West Central game was a bonkers. I didn't know how you guys were gonna top it in the Hancock game, but let's run through that and take us through that last play and your second game winner of the year. I'll try to set it up a little bit from my point of view. Basically, you guys had a screen. And you got it from Aaron. I think there were 2 of them, right? You could have gone left or right. You decided to go right. Got a screen from Aaron, sent the defender flying, and you had a nice little angle on. You didn't have any backboard. You were just like, oh, I just got perfect amount of touch on that, floated it in, and swished it. And what was kind of the thought process there? Were you thinking of trying to bank, or were you thinking of maybe dumping off at one point, or were you just like, I'm scoring?
I was scoring. I was getting to the hoop. I wanted to get closer to the hoop, but I'll take it. I haven't done a floater in a couple games. I just whipped it out. I'm like, okay, that works. And I usually go left, so I don't really know why it went right, because I finish better on the left side than I do the right side, but it worked out. So.
Interesting. Why do you think that is on the left side? Is it and is it with the left as well? Do you feel more comfortable?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love hearing that because you're right-handed, so that's when you hear better finishing the left. You had some good coaches coming up. So and then you knocked down that game winner, and then ended up blocking the game-winning shot. We'll go into the Hancock game where there was a very similar sequence, but. How fun was that when you just knew you just punched your ticket to the subsection title game?
Well, right when she shot it, I was like, I swear if they call a foul. Because I didn't touch her, I got all ball, and then she was complaining to the refs. I'm like, uh-oh. But then they didn't. I was so happy. I really wanted to play Hancock. That's that was my goal, is to get to that game, and I think we all were so excited. That game was a battle the second half. But we played great that game, I think.
Yeah, when you got that when they were, it's funny you say that, because you were just like, I hope they don't call a foul, because I thought they were going to call a foul, even though I thought it was a block too, but just kind of, I was, it was really loud, so you can't really hear the officials. I was like, was there a whistle? And then it looked like the officials were about to huddle up, and they're waiting on the one guy, and the one guy is like, no, we're not huddled up, we're going to the locker room. Kind of waved him, and then they took off running, and I was like, I think that's game. So that's how you guys punched your ticket to the game with Hancock that you guys played on Wednesday night, and the Owls came in just an absolute powerhouse of a squad, and I remember saying in my pregame show, you guys got to come out and punch them in the mouth if you guys want to set the tone in this game. Came out with a 12-3 run. How fun was that to be able to, just kind of get the jitters out of the way and take control and punch a team in the mouth?
Yeah, that definitely. When we started the game, we were just we were determined, and I think we stayed determined the whole game. But when we were up 12-3, I think we were all we actually have a shot. We can do this. And then they went on a little run, and then we kind of stayed side by side for most of the game. And then towards the end of the game, they kind of took off, and then we caught up, and that was a fun game. We played our hearts out, and that was probably one of the best games of the season that we've all played.
I remember seeing, it was just the other night, so I'm not reaching too far back in the memory, but just kind of seeing the girls afterward. It was a little different from other years, just like other years, it's usually just, it helps you guys don't have any seniors. Yeah. So you guys all get to run it back. You don't have any girls who just played their last game. But just the way you guys knew you all left it out there, I could just tell, the way you're kind of talking to each other and looking at each other, it looked like there wasn't disappointment. It was hey, it just didn't go our way tonight. And what do you think is the big key to all your girls having that mentality?
Yeah, I think we had that mentality because we played so great, and the game, it could have went either way at the end, and they deserved it. I think we both deserved it, but we were next year we're gonna get them next year, and we had that mentality right as the buzzer went off, and so there wasn't very many tears either. We were all next year. Like, we're gonna get them.
Yep. I when I was talking to you guys after the game, I was just like, oh, I'm so excited for next year now. After that, I'm sure you guys are too. And Emily hit another big shot. Surprise, surprise. You guys were down by 2. Hancock, I'll tip my hat to them. They ran a very nice inbound play and kind of had a player streaking down like a wide receiver. They tossed to her. Sydney Roberts got on her horse, ran it down to contest it to force the miss, and one thing led to another, and all of a sudden you're dropping in a layup to force overtime, and then followed it up with another block at the buzzer. Were you getting a little deja vu there?
I guess I wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah.
Yeah, you got into that situation again. They must not have done their stuck around and watched the game when you guys took on West Central.
Yeah, I don't know.
But one last thing that I have is just how exciting. I know we just talked about how exciting it's going to be able to run it back next year, but also the addition of getting Jonica back in the lineup. Does that just make it even all the more exciting?
Yes, it does. I'm so excited to have her back. It's one more body that I know I can count on, and I know can just step up and take any role that we need. And she did a great job on the bench. She was coaching me every single game, and I love her so much. She did a great job. She wasn't playing, but she was still with us the whole season. And next year when we have her back, I know she's just going to take over and she's going to take control, and it's going to be so much fun to have her back.
Got to make up for lost time. It's going to be a lot of fun to see. Emily Gowin, for the Breckenridge Cowgirls, just got wrapped up with a fantastic sophomore campaign. We still got 2 more years to watch you. I can't wait. All right, I appreciate you coming on, and now we'll get back to the music in a little bit, but first we have our snap schedule reminder for the remaining teams. Start off with today. The only team in action today is the NDSCS baseball team, as they are in Florida, taking on Kalamazoo Valley Community College at 2:30 p.m. The Wahpeton boys basketball team has their state qualifier at the Shack on Saturday against Grafton at 1 p.m. NDSCS softball taking on Highland Community College at 12 and 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then we got Sunday, NDSCS softball taking on Highland Community College, and that is at 12 and 2 p.m. once again. NDSCS baseball squaring off with M State at 1 and 3 p.m. Tuesday, NDSCS softball once again with a doubleheader against Kansas City Community College. And then NDSCS softball is back in action again on Wednesday at 12 and 2 p.m. against Kansas Wesleyan. So a lot of softball and baseball going on, but that's how it goes with the end of the playoff time for the winter sports season, and that's how it goes with the Snap Spotlight too. That'll wrap it up. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and now for a quick word from our sponsor.
Snap Fitness, your locally owned gym in Wahpeton, wants to have you join their workout family. Snap offers personal training, and owner Renata Fobb will even write up workout plans for you. If you're an athlete in the Twin Towns, Snap Fitness will help you make sure you're prepared for the upcoming sports season. To all the retired athletes over 65, Snap Fitness participates in the Silver Sneakers Insurance Program, and most major insurances reimburse for memberships to Snap. Stop by Snap Fitness today and ask about their membership packages. They're located at 102 7th Street South in Wahpeton.